Hello guys, Zach here once again with another random map game, and this is a continuation of the best of 3 series between RVK Orcus aka Chris, shown here in green playing as Huns to the right of the map, versus opponent Jordan 23, the very well known Jordan 23 as well as Chris, I suppose. They're both very well known players, also playing as Huns in blue over to the far left of the map. And first things first, before I start getting into this game, I want to apologise for this video being a little bit late. It's because I've been making graphics and such for the live stream tomorrow. Those of you who are unaware, I am doing a 12-hour live stream tomorrow, starting at 7 AM GMT, lasting through till 7 PM GMT, and it should be really good fun. I will put the link to my Twitch TV stream in the description of this video, and there's a schedule on there as well, which you can, if you click on the link in the description, go to the stream. Underneath the stream you should see the schedule for the day, and that's going to start tomorrow, so hopefully I'll see you guys there. I'm really looking forward to it, and I absolutely cannot wait to actually get this started. There's going to be a good announcement about the Forgotten Empires, which is something to look forward to, and a few other bits and bobs as well. It should be really good. I'm going to try and mix it up as much as I can. Bit of custom scenario stuff, bit of deathmatch stuff, bit of special guest stuff, bit of random map obviously as well, and the like. So hopefully you guys are going to tune in, and I will see you there. But for now, let's have a look at the map for both of these guys on this Game 2 of the best of 3 between these two. I've got to say, Jordan looks like he's got a pretty decent map right here. His gold is right at the back, as well as his stone. So this is really ideal for him. That's couldn't get much better gold placement. Oh, well, you could if it was not against the wall, but other than that, it's absolutely good for him. This gold at the front here and here, not too bad. I mean, it's fairly easy to wall that if he wants to, by the looks of things. A little ramp here which you can easily wall. You can again wall this, and if you want to even wall across here with some barracks or whatever. It should be pretty good for him. He's got quite a nice map actually. And looking at Chris's map, well, he has also got a big gold at the back. Not such great position on that. A, it's on a hill, and B, it's surrounded by trees, which makes it a little bit harder to gather from at an optimal rate. But again, it's not too bad for him. He's going to obviously build at the top of this little hill here. His stone is at the front, and he does have gold. I'd call that towards the back. So Chris should be okay for map as well. So both these guys got a fairly decent map, and they're fairly far apart actually as well. They're, you know, in Arabia sometimes you can say for instance Chris was here and Jordan was up here. There's a lot less distance between them, but because they're on the opposite diagonals of the map, they're actually fairly far apart. Look, and that is going to be a little bit annoying. And Jordan actually going for a stable here. We saw him go for 2 archery ranges last game, so we're going to see him go with a stable this time. So we're going to definitely see a scout rush, and that's going to be interesting, as well as Chris doing the same, also getting out a spearman already just to prepare. Both these guys pretty much identical builds right now, and they are going to need a little bit extra food to sustain making a few scouts. They're going to want to have a few scouts each to be able to send them out and attack with, and of course they're going to try and get in here to the wood. Let's have a look at what Chris has actually scouted. Well, he knows exactly where Jordan's wood camp is. Jordan hasn't actually split it into 2. Unfortunately for him, his wood is actually quite far away. His second closest is probably here, which is very far out, but he does have this at the back. So but the only downside is he can't split it up, so if it does get harassed, he's not got villagers elsewhere gathering. So Chris knows about that, and maybe he's going to try and send his scouts over to that location. Jordan's already sending his scouts over, only 2 though right now. Let's see what he can actually see of Chris's base. He knows exactly where his berry bushes are. He might try and head to that first, and he also knows he's got wood down here, but he's going to have to pass the town centre to get to it. But he could just go around the back and hit the wood here, but he was headed off by a spearman from Chris over there, and at the moment Chris with a pretty decent score lead as well, I've got to say. That's pretty interesting. Both these guys on 31 population each, and pretty identical resources as well. Look at that, it's almost identical. Very, very similar. I think maybe the scores are due to scouting. Chris has got quite a bit more scouting, it seems, which is pretty good on his behalf. Because, as I've said many times before, gaining map control is incredibly important when you're playing in a 1v1. Very nicely done by Chris there. He may just be out. He's going to get that villager. Nice from him. And then run away. That was a very good little pick off right there. And that makes him one villager ahead of Jordan at this stage, which means that he will be gathering a little bit more resources per minute, which is exactly what you try and do when you harass. Just try and damage your opponent's economy as much as possible. Chris starting to do a little bit of a wall off. He's going to throw up a an archery range there as well. And Jordan too with an archery range. It's like they've got all visible on because they are mirroring each other almost identically. And as you can see, in comparison to last game, Jordan has a lot more farms at this stage as he's not making so many archers, and he needs more food to sustain scout production. It's 5 scouts for Jordan right now, only 3 for Chris, so Jordan might be able to go and pick off another villager or even pick off another scout. Pretty even on upgrades as usual. They will be even on upgrades for a little while, and maybe Jordan isn't going to actually upgrade any melee or cavalry defense because he's going to go into archers very shortly, and he'll want to get fletching before he does anything else. So he's going to try and pick off what he can. Chris actually bringing in some villagers right there to attack as well, which is always worthwhile, I think. If you've got if you're outnumbered only by 2 scout cavalries or whatever, you can actually bring in a couple of villagers. They'll do quite a bit of damage, as long as they don't get surrounded and killed off. And they also act as a little bit of a meat shield as well, which is always good. Chris actually getting up a blacksmith right there, and a second archery range for Jordan. He's actually a little bit further behind with that second archery range, and no blacksmith for Jordan yet. And what is Chris making? Well, he's making archers right now. How many does he have on gold? That's 6 villagers on gold right there, so he's going to be able to make a lot of archers from these 2 archery ranges, and I imagine he'll be getting fletching as soon as he possibly can as well. Chris starting to wall off at the front here. He's walled this section here, so Jordan has to go through this gap to get in, which does mean that he comes in range of the town centre, and he's going to wall at the side as well to really secure his front. Of course, Jordan can get around the back, but Chris sending in a spearman in there as well. He can do a lot of damage with that if Jordan doesn't micro correctly, losing 1 scout in the process as well. He's going to stay and fight, or is he? No, he's just going to run away. He's lost 2 scouts right there, but he did manage to pick off 1 of Chris's. He needs to just pick them off quickly and get out the way of the spearman, basically. And there's another one down for Chris, just a trail of scout cavalries across the map. And Chris continuing to wall at the back. Once he's walled this and this here, he will be fully walled, it seems. And Jordan, well, as ever, not walling at all because he just doesn't do that. That's not how he rolls. And archers coming out for Jordan as well, so pretty much identical from these 2 guys right now. I'm interested to see if either of them have fletching yet. I imagine they have, but there's no easy way to tell while they're garrisoned inside of the archery range, which is never a good thing. So let's just speed things up a wee bit while these guys are just making some army and still moving around the map scouting, it seems. Very neck and neck, as I say, in score as well. And Jordan just going to try and get through here. Not going to be successful though, as Chris will just stick a wall behind. And very weird actually to see them walling so well. To see a lot of walling on Arabia. I don't know, it's not a bad strategy, it's just frowned upon, unfortunately. And Chris with a nice raid on Jordan's gold there. Jordan, though, as these scouts were already damaged, managing to pick them off with just his villagers. I think he may have lost 1 villager in there, but Chris is going to be forced away, and Jordan may be able to pick off these scouts, keeping an eye on them as well. Bit of an odd archery range placement down here, but why not? I'm sure he's happy with that. Going up to the Castle Age, and Chris is still feudal. This is very nice from Jordan, actually. Going up to the Castle Age pretty early in comparison. If you look at his population, he's on 50. Chris is on 55, so maybe Chris does have a little bit more army, but I think it's going to be a while before Chris's army can actually reach Jordan here, and Chris may be caught out if he's not careful, because Jordan will be castle and he will upgrade to crossbowman. He's getting bloodlines as well, which does indicate that he will be getting cavalry archers also, and padded archer armor on the way as well. Already got bodkin arrow, padded archer armor on the way, and I imagine he will be getting bodkin arrow once he reaches the castle age as well. Only three archery ranges, yeah, I completely forgot about this one down here. As you can see, a lot of villagers collecting gold and a fair few on wood as well. That's to sustain his cavalry archer production. Up to the castle age, and Chris has only just clicked up. This could be where Jordan manages to gain a little bit of an advantage. Crossbowman, as you can see right there, as well as bodkin arrow very shortly. He just needs a bit more food for that, and a new town centre, so he's not even going for the one town centre kind of power play. He is going to go and do a little bit of a boom behind this, which is going to really look good for him, I've got to say at the moment. Chris is on his way up to the castle age, as I say, but he is going to have quite a few archers against, well, he's going to be up against cavalry archers and crossbowmen very shortly, I imagine. He's going to go and attack right now. Bodkin arrow, there we go, as you can see, and cavalry archers as well. He's going to want to mass these as best he can, and as he's so far in the lead getting up to the castle age, Jordan can afford to invest in these two town centres and spend that wood instead of getting more cavalry archers out this early on, because he's got the time now. He's got time on his side, and until Chris reaches the castle age, he knows he's pretty much safe. Chris with a huge army of archers right here. That's 8 plus, let's have a look, 8 plus 9 plus 2 plus 1. So that's quite a lot right there. He will probably, well, he'd be mad not to upgrade these to crossbowmen when he does get up to the castle age. That's probably going to be the first thing he does. He's also got a watchtower on this wood right here, which has, of course, cost him that extra stone. As well as building this gate, he's only down, and a stone wall at the back as well. He's down to 5 wood right now, and where's his stone? Well, where is his stone? That's a good question. It's not inside of his walls, so how is he going to make a new town centre? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if he thought that through properly. He's lost the opportunity now to gain this stone while Jordan is outside of his base. He is going to wait to get castle before he releases these archers. He will want to upgrade to crossbowmen. There we go, it's coming up right now, and he probably will be able to beat Jordan's army right here if he does upgrade to crossbowmen, as he will have a lot more numbers than Jordan in this situation. But Jordan, obviously with the 2 extra town centres now, will slowly gain an advantage over time, and if he can continue to pump out these cavalry archers, he may just be able to keep enough pressure on to keep Chris in his base and prevent him from getting this stone to build a new town centre, which is not going to be good for Chris at all. Thumb ring straight away for Chris. I notice he does get thumb ring very early on. It does really help, actually. It does increase your firing speed, and the more arrows you can get out, the more DPS you do, I suppose. And once that is done, I imagine he will now release the crossbowmen and try and just beat this army from Jordan. Getting out of mangonel, not mangonel, siege workshop, he will have mangonels very early on, which is what I like about Chris's playstyle. He does like to use mangonels, and he's not afraid to get them out early on, and that is great, because he can do so much damage with them. The thing is, if you're up against a mainly archer army, which is what usually happens when you're playing against Huns, it's very handy to have the mangonels, and if your opponent doesn't get mangonels out early as well, it's very easy to kill off a lot of units without even losing one mangonel. So Chris is doing a pretty good job here. He's got a lot of army inside of these archery ranges, building 2 behind. He may just be able to push Jordan back, but he wants to hold on for as long as he possibly can. He doesn't want to risk pushing out and losing his army and then leaving a hole in his defences, I suppose. Now he's going to move out, I think, once he's got the mangonel, and try and gain some ground. His only problem here is that Jordan can stay on this hill and attack down, which will help him out, but Jordan has retreated, and This could be the perfect opportunity, there we go, for Chris to release his army, get on top of that hill and stop Jordan, or prevent Jordan from getting the attack advantage. Using the wide stance by default, he's such a cautious player, I suppose, with kind of cautious with the walls, cautious with using the wide stance, very aware that Jordan may have mangonels. Little does he know, Jordan doesn't even have a siege workshop yet. He's only just getting one up now, but look how many cavalry archers Jordan does have. That is a lot of cavalry archers there, and he is just going to continue to mass these up. Let's see what Chris can do. He's going to push out right now, and he is going to try and do what damage he can. I'm not actually sure if he's got enough army right here to actually kill Jordan off. Jordan's got a lot of cavalry archers there, as well as quite a few crossbowmen as well. He's probably wondering what's going on. He's not had any attacks coming in for a while. This could be a fairly long game. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But Chris is going to move out, see what he can actually do here. I don't know if he's got enough units or not. It's going to be very hard to tell. Jordan now just getting out a mangonel as well. So Jordan is going to be able to counter Chris's mangonel. Let's see if he can actually do this. Jordan actually splitting his army here. He's going to move in, it seems. Does he know he's even there yet? No, he doesn't, but he's about to find out as cavalry archers come rolling on in. Here we go. Jordan is going to now move in, and he has got 2 mangonels already out, which does mean he's got more than Chris right here. We should see a very big battle on this area here. 2 hills on either side, and low ground in the middle, so Chris doesn't want to stay down there for too long. He's going to try and draw Jordan onto the low ground, get onto this hill, and attack down. Let's see what Jordan can do with these mangonels, though. He may be able to get a couple of good shots off here and kill a few of Chris's units. Jordan not using wide stance, though. He could potentially lose a lot of units if the mangonel does get a good hit. He just needs to go one more hit. There we go, and Jordan, very nice micro, moving out of the way just in time. And Chris is hugging the hill, but Jordan's confident that he's got this. He has got a lot more cavalry archers, and Chris could be pushed right back here. It's so hard to tell, but Jordan actually going to retreat, and it does just show you can actually win a battle with smaller numbers just by hugging the hill. Jordan going to go and stand on his hill now, and these guys both just going to stand on each other's hills, it seems, and wait for one of them to give in and go and attack. If we have a look at the losses there, it does look like Jordan lost quite a few in this area, but Chris lost quite a few units to the mangonels as well. But very nice from Chris, sending them over to this wood camp over here. Going to pick off quite a few villagers. This could be very nice for him, and he is going to be able to kill off quite a few here. Bear in mind, though, he will need to kill a few to make the economies even. He still only does have 1 town centre, and it's kind of like a role reversal from the last game. Let's see what he can do right here. He needs to take out needs to take out this mangonel as fast as he can. He's coming in from the back. Maybe now would be a good time to upgrade to elite skirmisher, get some skirmishers out. He's got quite a lot of resources as well, so he can continue to make cavalry archers. It's hard to actually say who has the most right here, but I'm going to say that Jordan is actually just on top. He does have a higher score at the moment. That could be mainly down to his economy, though. Military wise, they're probably neck and neck. Jordan just needs to group his army together and prevent losses. Chris is just going to continue to send cavalry archers across the map, it does seem, and Jordan is looking in about a spot of trouble here. Chris could kill off quite a few villagers with these cavalry archers. Let's see where they are going to go. He's going to look down here, nothing to be found, and head over to the left, try and pick off some villagers. Yes, he's going to do that just fine. He is playing this very well. Is Jordan going to go and counter at Chris's base? He may try it, but he's going to have a hard time, as Chris is fully walled in, and cavalry archers, though they'll get through this palisade very easily, it's a bit close to the town centre. We'll have to see if he does go and do that. Is he just going to go and rally around? It's hard to say. He may actually go on a counter right here, and this is what makes a player so confident. I don't know how he can do this, just send his whole army away from his base when he knows there's an enemy army outside the gates. I just couldn't do that. I wouldn't have the guts to do it. But Jordan making elite skirmishers right now. He obviously listened to my words of wisdom and starting to get some skirmishers out. He will of course be able to counter these crossbowmen very easily, and running into Chris. Unfortunately his raid is going to be unsuccessful, being chased down right now. This is where husbandry is such an important upgrade. If you haven't got husbandry and you're retreating and your opponent does have husbandry, the extra increase to your cavalry movement speed will mean that you get hunted down very quickly indeed. indeed. They both seem to either have husbandry or don't have husbandry. I can't quite tell. Because their cavalry archers are moving at the same speed, but Chris has got a hell of a lot of cavalry archers right now. But Jordan, with these two mangonels, he may be able to get a couple of hits, but he failed right there to hit either of them. He may just be able to get another hit right here, but Jordan is sandwiched once again between Chris on both sides here. He needs to be very careful not to lose his mangonels in this situation, but the mix of the skirmishers and the cavalry archers is really helping Jordan out in this situation. He's going to be able to push Chris away once again. He's even making a monastery right now. He may collect up relics, he may just use it to get some conversions. He does actually have a relic back here, and so many archery ranges constantly producing as Chris comes in once again with more cavalry archers, going to try and pick off some villagers, headed off by skirmishers, and the mangonel looking to find something to kill. He may just be able to hit those skirmishers right there. A little bit bad from Jordan, forgetting even to micro these. He is going to get in close, try and take these out close range. Going to get hit though, and that is not good. Both these guys, I want to point out, do have bloodlines, and upgrade wise they are neck and neck, so the cavalry archers are on par, but Jordan microing these a little bit, losing quite a few of these guys to the mangonels, and that is not good for him. Meanwhile, he has got Chris though, trying to come in at the side, getting mangonelled as well, so it's so hard to micro on two fronts, I suppose. This is looking pretty good for Chris, I've got to say. He's keeping the pressure on, but Jordan does have the score lead. Look at his economy. He's got a lot of villagers. His economy is very far spread out, and Chris, well, he's only just got his second town centre up, so he's a little bit further behind in that regard. He needs to keep his military production high, otherwise he won't be able to break through Jordan's defences here, and Jordan may just be able to counter. Look at his score, he's getting a little bit further ahead, and I've got to say that army from Chris really doesn't look that much, although he is bringing more in from the side, using wide stance again to either make them appear more, or to just do what he can to avoid the mangonel fire. He is going to be fighting uphill here though, and that could be a problem. Jordan now bringing in a ram, a very good choice to make. That will absorb a lot of cavalry archer fire, and the ram, well, once it's took down this siege workshop, will help him to advance forwards. Chris looking like he's going to have to fall back here. Jordan may just be able to push him back. His eco is still absolutely brilliant. Lots of town centres for him, lots of resource income, and looking at their populations, Chris is on 95, Jordan is on 137. He's just getting further away every minute as his eco does continue to improve. Chris, very nicely done trying to take out that battering ram, but did get caught by the two mangonels from Jordan. Chris is going to try and go around the side with these cavalry archers though, use their maneuverability to get in there, pick off some villagers and get out. Chris could be a little bit late though. He's only just starting to work on his economy right now, and it could be a little bit late for him. Jordan may just be able to get this back, and although he's having a bit of trouble with harassment here, he could lose a few villagers, and that wouldn't be good. He is still going to have the economic advantage at this stage, and now he's going to start pushing out and head towards Chris's base, see what he can do with these cavalry archers. He may or may not just be able to kill off a few of Chris's villagers. He's going to be able to get in here, pick off some of these villagers for sure, or maybe not so for sure. But he is going to bring Chris back to his base. Every harassment that comes in, Chris is going to be forced back once more, and Jordan now going up to the Imperial Age. Chris is so far from Imperial. Jordan will reach the Imperial Age. Heavy cavalry archer upgrade, I imagine, as soon as he reaches that, as well as Parthian tactics, and he will just outmatch Chris's cavalry archers once he does reach Imperial. Even if he loses these villagers now, look how much resource he does have. He can actually afford to lose them, though he doesn't really want to lose them, and now sending more units across the map, streaming over. Chris using some light cavalry to get in there to kill off the elite skirmishers as well. Pretty nice choice to make. He's got a bit of extra food, and of course the light cavalry can take out the mangonels very easily, as we're about to see. They are going to almost take out the mangonel if these two didn't get distracted, but Jordan with the cavalry archers behind. Looks to me like Jordan is going to take this game right now. It was very close up until he clicked up to the Imperial Age. Look how much resource he has got. Almost 2,000 food, almost 2,000 gold, and Imperial for him. Parthian tactics Heavy Cavalry Archer will be on the way. There we go, Heavy Cavalry Archer, Parthian Tactics, and more Cavalry Archers continually being produced. Now Jordan is going to gain such a huge advantage. Chris can only hope he's done enough economic harassment, but little does he know he's not done enough economic harassment, and Jordan is just going to push forwards. His score almost 2,000 in the lead right now. He is going to continue to push and push and push. Heavy Cavalry Archer now upgraded. Bracer is probably being researched as well, and plus 3 Cavalry Archer. No, wait, that may have been Parthian. I'm not 100% sure. All these upgrades being completed but not showing on the left. But anyway, yeah, Bracer being upgraded there. Parthian Tactics done. Heavy Cavalry Archer done. Tick, 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 ticking all the boxes. I imagine he's probably got ballistics as well. And this is pretty much a fully Imperial army right now. And there's very little that Chris is going to be able to do to stop him. He did indeed resign just there. He knows that he cannot beat fully upgraded Heavy Cavalry Archers with just bog standards cavalry archers right there, which is really unlucky for him. But I've got to say, well played from both these guys. Chris did an excellent job early game. He really did keep Jordan in his base, and if Jordan wasn't allowed to boom so much, then this could have been Chris's game. But Jordan very well played. He did just manage to keep himself safe while he did work on his eco, upgrading to the Castle Age much earlier than Chris did. Chris did overcommit to the Feudal Age War, and he paid for it, I suppose. So that's pretty much that. That's 1-1. Chris with 1, Jordan with 1. I'll bring you the third game in the series very shortly, but right now I'm going to go eat some chips and enjoy some food while this video renders. So please remember that tomorrow I am going to be doing the 12-hour live stream from 7 AM GMT to 7 PM GMT at twitch.tv/ZeroEmpires, and you should tune in if you like Age of Empires, because that's what I'm going to be doing for 12 hours straight. So thanks for watching, guys. I've been Zach, and I will see you next time.